Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to talk about Genesis 3, verse 9. And YHVH Elohim called to the man and said to him, "Where are you?" This short and haunting verse, "Where are you?" is one of the most profound and esoteric utterances in the entire Torah. According to the Zohar, it is not a question of geography, but a cosmic call to consciousness. It is the divine voice reaching into exile, beckoning the soul to return, not to a location, but to its true state of being. The first phrase we have, and YHVH Elohim called, the descent of the divine voice. The Zohar teaches that when God calls, it implies not just vocalization, but drawing down light. Here, YHVH Elohim, a name that combines compassion with judgment, is calling in mercy even after the sin. The voice descended not to condemn, but to arouse. This is the Shekinah's cry through the garden of exile. Divine presence is not passive. It searches, initiates teshuvah, which in English means return, even in the darkest corners of brokenness. Next we have the phrase, "to the man," a singular call to a universal soul. Although it seems directed at Adam individually, the Zohar reveals that this question is eternal. It is addressed to every soul in every generation. Ayekah is spoken in every world, in every moment, when the soul turns from its source. The verse becomes a template for inner reflection whenever we experience concealment, confusion, or inner distance. The divine asks again, "Where are you?" Not geographically, but existentially. Where is your soul? Where is your alignment? The phrase, "Where are you?" Ayekah, the cry of divine absence. The Hebrew word ayekah contains within it a mystery. It echoes the word eika, in English means how, the opening of the book of Lamentations, which mourns the destruction of the temple and the exile of Shekinah. It also hints at the letter I, in English means where, found in Job and Isaiah, questioning the hiddenness of God. Thus, this one word is a cry, a summons, and a lament, a multidimensional divine whisper, asking, "How far have you fallen? Where is the soul I placed in you? Why are you hiding from the light?" The Zohar interprets Ayekah not as God's lack of knowledge, but as God's deliberate lowering of himself, offering the sinner a path to return. The hidden Aleph from Ayekah, where, to Anoki, which means I am. Kabbalistically, the question Ayekah represents a veil over the Aleph, the divine unity. The word Ayekah begins with the letter Aleph, the silent letter, the divine source. Yet, in exile, this Aleph is obscured. Man hears the call, but does not yet recognize its source. God hid himself in the question so that man might seek him in the answer. Thus, Ayekah becomes an invitation to rediscover the Aleph, the Anoki, I am, at the root of being. The mystical dialogue. Why does God ask what he already knows? The Zohar says clearly, of course, God knows where Adam is. So why ask? Because this is the divine pedagogy of compassion. God speaks in a way the fallen soul can bear. He does not shame, he calls gently, giving Adam the opportunity to respond, to come forward by choice. This is the origin of Teshuvah, return, not through coercion, but through invitation. The Holy One calls in love, even when man has turned his face away. The esoteric implication, the soul's hiddenness, mirrors the divine's. The act of hiding is mutual. Man hides from God out of shame, but God too has hidden. He veils himself behind the name Elohim and calls through layers of concealment. Thus, the Zohar teaches, this call, Ayekah, is not just to man, but within man. The divine spark within the soul also asks the question. It is the inner Shekinah saying, where is my king? Why have you buried the light in dust and leaves? To summarize, Genesis 3 verse 9, through the Zohar is not a question, it is a summons of the soul. The Zohar reveals this is not judgment, but an act of infinite mercy. God does not thunder, he calls gently, allowing the fallen one to choose to return. Ayekah becomes the eternal divine whisper, especially in exile, in darkness, in forgetfulness. It is the voice within every soul that says, why are you hiding? Come out from behind your excuses, your shame, your leaves. Return to the presence that still walks through your garden. And in that one word, Ayekah, lies the entire path of Teshuvah, from concealment to confession to communion. That's it for today. Thank you very much for your donation. Be blessed, everyone, and I will see you on the next episode.